My daughter was 4 years old. She didn't know what lying was. She didn't know what fear was. She just knew what she saw. And on the very first night in our new home, she walked into our bedroom at 3 a.m., climbed into our bed, and whispered, "Daddy, the man on the wall is watching me sleep." My name is Thomas Reed. My wife Sarah and I bought our house in Burlington, Vermont in March 2020. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, big backyard. It was exactly what we had been saving for. The inspection came back clean. No structural issues, no water damage, no problems. We moved in on a Saturday. By Sunday evening, we were already in love with the place. That was the last peaceful night we ever had in that house. Our daughter Emma slept in the smallest bedroom. Pink walls, fairy lights, her stuffed animals lined up on the shelf. She loved that room immediately. Said it felt warm, said it felt friendly. Children notice things adults don't. The first night she came to us, we told her she had a bad dream. We took her back to her room, checked under the bed, checked the closet. Nothing. She pointed at the wall beside her bed, the one with the fairy lights. "He's behind there, Daddy." I knocked on the wall. Solid, normal. I told her it was just the house settling. Old houses make sounds. Nothing to be scared of. She looked at me very seriously, the way only a 4-year-old can. "He's not a sound, Daddy. He has eyes." It happened every night for 2 weeks. Same time, same wall, same thing. Emma would wake up at 3 a.m., walk to our room, and tell us the man in the wall was watching her. Sarah thought it was an imaginary friend. Children that age often create them. I wasn't so sure, because I had started hearing things at night. Not loud, not dramatic, just a sound, like something shifting, behind the wall of Emma's room. One night I pressed my ear against that wall, at 2 a.m., standing in my daughter's dark bedroom, and I heard it, breathing, slow, quiet, steady, on the other side of the wall. The next morning I measured the house, outside dimensions versus inside dimensions. There was a gap, almost 4 feet wide, running the entire length of Emma's bedroom wall. A space that did not exist on any floor plan. A space that had never been mentioned in any inspection. I called a contractor that afternoon. He came the next day, measured it himself, knocked on the wall in several places, then turned to me with a look I will never forget. "Mr. Reed, this wall has been bricked up. Not drywalled, not plastered, bricked, from the inside. We called the police before we opened it. 2 officers arrived within 20 minutes. They brought a structural team. It took them 40 minutes to carefully remove enough bricks to see inside. An officer shone his flashlight through the opening. He didn't speak for a long time. Then he stepped back, looked at his partner and said, 'We need everyone out of this house, now.' What they found inside that walled room was not what any of us expected. It was a living space, roughly 4 feet wide, running the full length of the wall. A narrow corridor, hidden inside a thin mattress on the floor, a wool blanket, folded neatly, empty food tins, water bottles, a small battery lantern, still working, and a wooden stool, positioned against the wall that faced Emma's room. At eye level on that wall, a small hole, no bigger than a coin, drilled precisely. Looking directly into my daughter's bedroom, someone had been sitting on that stool, looking through that hole, watching my 4-year-old daughter sleep. Investigators found fingerprints throughout the space, DNA on the mattress, on the blanket. They ran everything through the database. The prints matched a man named Walter Grimes, 67 years old, a former carpenter. Walter Grimes had built that hidden room himself, 22 years earlier, while doing renovation work on the house. He had been using it ever since, through 5 different families. 5 families had lived in that house, while Walter Grimes lived inside their wall. They found him 3 days later. He hadn't gone far. He was living in an abandoned barn, 2 miles from our house. When police asked him how he got in and out, he showed them a hidden panel in the basement floor, a tunnel, dug by hand, leading from the hidden room underneath the house and emerging in the tree line behind the backyard. He had been coming and going for 22 years, and not one family had ever known. In his psychological evaluation, Walter showed no remorse, no emotion at all. When asked why he had done this, he said only, "I built that room. It belongs to me. We never went back to that house. We lost our deposit, lost moving costs. We didn't care." Emma never spoke about the man in the wall again. Not once. Like she had simply moved on, the way children sometimes do. But I think about it every single day. I think about how many nights he sat on that stool, looking through that hole, watching my daughter. I think about the 5 families before us, who never knew, who slept peacefully every night, while a man lived 4 feet away from them, inside their wall. If you ever move into a new house, measure it. Outside dimensions, inside dimensions. Make sure they match. And if your child ever tells you there is someone in the wall, listen to them, because sometimes they are the only ones telling the truth. Sleep well, and if stories like this keep you up at night, you're not alone. Subscribe for more horror stories. Every week, new story, new nightmare. See you in the dark.